So last week, I was at the IBM conference. There were many goodies that was announced. So I wanted to take a moment to share it all with you. Here are my top 5 takeaways from the IBM Think conference. The future of AI is open. That's what IBM is betting on. They're talking about open innovation, open sourcing all their models. They have open sourced the models that do the language, code, time series now. And then the geospatial one is going to come soon. The code models that are trained on 116 programming languages, they're going after the app modernization use cases. So IBM decided not to compete against the others in providing a closed source LLMs. First, they are too expensive, too big, too costly to train. The models is not where they want to make the money. I'll get to their modernization angle soon. They're betting on the fact that the specialized models, instead of general purpose models, will become commonplace. It'll perform well. And they are offering that all as an Apache license. So you'll get an option to contribute it back to the model, which is similar to the Red Hat model, proven model. Given that there are only 2 other places that are open sourcing their models. One is Meta, and the other one is Mistral. Mistral is Apache 2, same as IBM, but Meta's model is slightly confusing. But they are releasing their models and that to be top performing as well as very transparency, compared to others. So they're betting on a specialized models. They're betting on the future of AI is open. They're betting on smaller language models that's going to rule the world. As Daria Gill, their Director of Research SVP, explained in his keynote, the smaller language specialized models take about 1% of the total cost and 1% of the total energy to train, yet they perform equally or better than other models. That's what they're betting on. That's my one differentiator that I got from the conference. IBM is betting on transparency of the generative AI models. IBM is actually going the exact opposite of some of the other large commercial LLM providers are providing, the OpenAI, Azure's, Microsoft's of the world, the Gemini's of the world, and there are a few others. They are very secretive of their information for obvious reasons, and they don't disclose much information. You use it at your own risk, and they provide some indemnity and stuff, but it's not very transparent. IBM is taking the other sides. They are very open and transparent about their models. I think this is a big deal as the enterprises look for transparency, both in models as well as the data curation, data quality before adopting them. The Stanford produces a foundation model for transparency index, as it calls, and the latest one was released last month in May 2024. IBM Granite open source models, surprisingly, is one of the top scorers, not the top most, but one of the top. I think they are number 4 in that index. While there are many other in the list, they beat out some of the LLM heavyweights, such as the Meta's Llama open source one, Mistral LLMs, Anthropic Claude, OpenAI's GPT-4, and even Google's Gemini 1.0, which claim to be very open and transparent. They obviously analyze over 100 indicators. They said something specific that stood out for me. Developers are opaque about the data, labor, and compute used to build their models. They often do not release reproducible evaluation of risk and mitigations, and they do not share information about the impact their models are having on the users or market sectors. That's why we are doing the report. And IBM took it to heart because a lot of their customers are enterprises. They're looking for it to adopt in a risk mitigated way. And I think this is going to be a clear differentiator for them, and they are very clear about their messaging. That's my number 2 takeaway from the conference. IBM has a leg up on having consultants, in my view, a leg up on this. According to their global managing partner, Matt Candy, who I had a one-on-one conversation, who manages generative AI, there are 2 things he said that stood out to me. One, they have about 21,000 consultants, to be exact, trained on AI, particularly in generative AI, and ready to go. That's a massive force that can help people trying to, create their own LLMs and models and get engaged with generative AI. Not only that on the skill set, on the available personnel who are trained, But actually, IBM has a product also called Consulting Advantage, which is a platform that was built on top of Watson X. They are building the industry-specific use cases. Agents are built on top of Watson X on the Consulting Advantage platform. In other words, they are trying to put, as Matt said, they are trying to do what's called a consulting as code. Basically, they're trying to create an AI-based labor, digital labor, at a much cheaper cost. If this gains traction, this can be huge for IBM, because almost every other company that I talk to, the AI skilled labor shortage is a pretty big deal for them. So if somebody can figure out a way to provide not only a skilled labor, but also consulting as code, digital labor as a much cheaper cost, they could challenge other existing SIs in this field, and as well as products. So that's my third advantage that I took away from the conference. IBM has a platform advantage. They are building the Watson X, which has a security, compliance, governance, privacy, and even some of the industry use cases using the Consulting Advantage that they built on the platform. The difference is it's not just a platform that runs in their place. They are built it in such a way, they call it as a hybrid AI model. Technically, it couldn't run anywhere. Obviously, they partnered with AWS, and it runs on AWS now. But it potentially can run on any platform, could be on any hyperscalers or even other platforms such as SAP, Salesforce, and other industry platforms. This can be a true hybrid AI. In other words, bringing the AI platform and models to where the user and data is, by also providing broad commercial rights to the users, as well as providing a full indemnification to commercial users. And allow them to build the Watson assistants, build on your own. They come up with a list of agents that's already available, providing indemnity, providing guardrails. These all clear true hybrid model. In other words, as they claim, a trusted, flexible, secure, compliant, and governed, all in single platform can run on hybrid location. That, I think, is a huge fourth advantage for IBM. IBM released what's called the IBM Concert, a bunch of use cases and an LLM that was trained on the AI IT operation things. If you ask any CIO, they'll tell you about 80 to 85% of their cost is keeping the lights on, doing IT operations efficiently. So it's time to use AI, generative AI in particular, fully in IT operations. IBM took that to heart, and then they trained their concept model using some of this. The actual thing that they demoed at the conference is the security, vulnerability, patching, efficiency, optimization of what is available in your footprint, and then do this analysis by using generative AI automatically. But more than what they demonstrated now, with the potential for other use cases, including incident management, including AI operations, including scalable, optimized IT infrastructure, that I think is huge if it comes to fruition. In my mind, that is the fifth advantage that I saw from the conference from IBM. So what are my final thoughts? When I talk to enterprises, the CXO level, they see, I see commonly, and also in my conversation with the vendors, I see three buckets of common generative AI use cases emerging. The first one is the customer experience, chatbot, and related things that I put in one group. And the second one is the coding, software engineering, testing, and all of those related in the second bucket. The third one is the digital labor, the assistants and agents, and I put them in other bucket. Those are the top three buckets of use cases that I've seen commonly companies developing. IBM is actually going after the last two very hard. The coding, digital laborers, helping programmers, and helping digital laborers and assistants. I think they upped their game in their own unique way, based on what I heard. Again, a lot of them are just initial announcements, beta version, early adapters, and so on and so forth. But if it comes to fruition, I think their customers will look at them now instead of chasing the ChatGPT or one of the other open source LLM models. My conclusion is that they are worth looking at. Those are my takeaways from IBM. Let me know your thoughts. Love to hear, love to talk to you, love to find out what you're doing differently. I am Andy Thurai. I'm with Constellation Research. Thanks for watching.